Okay, so you're trying to figure out what to dispute and how to dispute it and what kind of letter to use when you're disputing. I'm going to go over some basics on some of the general dispute letters and what's the reason for using them based on what's on your credit report. So check this out. Hopefully this will help you out. Now keep in mind that by understanding each letter's purpose and how to use it, you'll be empowered to protect your credit profile and challenge inaccuracies and uphold your rights under the law. You'll be able to use them correctly and get the best results, because a lot of times what folks do is they have a tendency to use the wrong letter when they're disputing, because they don't really quite understand what exactly they are disputing when they're looking at items on their credit report. So let me break down some of those and show you how you want to approach it. Okay, so the first one letter, this is a letter you want to write in response to a stall tactic, like we don't have your ID, which is generally comes from the credit bureaus. So the purpose of this letter is to address the stall tactics that a credit bureau or sometimes a creditor use when they continue to request your ID despite you including a copy of your ID in previous submissions. Sometimes they'll say it's unclear, they'll say they can't read it, so on and so forth. So, how do you use this letter? The best way to go about it is the first thing you do is you gather the previous documentation. So if this is your second and third attempt at submitting your dispute letter, no matter which one it is, first thing you want to do is you want to include a copy of all your previous ID submissions to show compliance and show that you have done that in the past. Then of course you want to send it certified mail to track the response timeline and hold the recipient accurate or accountable, including the credit bureau. Of course, we need to follow up as we always do. That's part of the credit repair process, where we follow up and we monitor their response to ensure timely processing, but we want to be prepared to escalate with complaints to the CFPB if they do not comply. So if they keep pretending like they don't have the ID, we got a paper trail showing we've sent it multiple times and that they're playing games. And so usually once you file a complaint and they get that, then they'll usually stop playing stall tactics and playing games and start to help us out. Okay, the second type of letter is the request to delete repossessions. Now this is a letter that goes directly to the creditor. The purpose of this letter is you're requesting the removal of a repossession record, especially if the creditor did not fully comply with the repossession laws in the first place. So how do you use that letter? First of all, you want to include any relevant documentation. You want to note the account number, the date of the repossession, and any specific state regulations, including, for example, the Universal Commercial Code requirements, that apply to this situation. Of course, you want to mail certified with return receipt, as I always recommend, so that we can document proof of delivery. But note, I want to make special note, pay attention. In this situation, the creditor only has 14 days to respond. So don't give them 30 days like we do with other situations. With this situation, they only got 14 days to respond. And so you give them their 14 days. So we wait verification or removal. So either one of those things should be done in 14 days or less. And if the creditor does not respond within 14 days, or they haven't updated it in that 14-day period, you want to escalate that with a formal complaint to a regulatory authority for non-compliance. Maybe the Federal Trade Commission, maybe the CFPB, could be either one or both. So let's talk about a reinsertion letter. The reinsertion letter, the purpose of this letter is to address when credit bureaus have reinserted previously removed items from your credit report. So you did the previous working on your credit, you had things removed, and then suddenly it's back. Well, guess what? We have to call them out on that and and find out why did they put it back, what changed. So how do you use that? Well, first of all, you want to submit the letter verified mail, as I always recommend, so we can track it. Now keep in mind, we're monitoring a response in 5 days. So with this situation, they get even less time. They only get 5 days, not 14, not 30, certainly not 30, because for them to go ahead and put something back that we took a lot of trouble to get off and we did it legitimately, they better have a good reason. And whatever that reason is, it shouldn't take them long to figure it out. So the government only give them 5 days to respond on why something was reinserted on the credit report. Now when you're requesting that, you want to request specifics. You want to ask for all information used to validate that reinsertion. If they do not respond with full documentation in that 5 days, the reinsertion may be disputed as a violation. So they better have a good damn reason for putting it back. Now, of course, you want to monitor and escalate this if needed. So if you don't receive any response from them in 5 days, you can definitely escalate the issue with the CFPB for failure to meeting the FCRA standard. So no doubt about that, the FCRA, they'll jump on those all day long. Okay, another letter is to address inconsistencies being reported on the credit reports. The purpose of this letter is to dispute inconsistencies that are found across the credit reports, the different reports on the same account. So if you got an account, say you have an account and it's being reported on all 3 bureaus, that one account has a balance of $10,000 on one report, another one it says 1,000, another one it doesn't have anything or says 0. So obviously that balance is inconsistent across the 3 bureaus. So you want to note when you're reviewing your credit report on each account inconsistencies across the 3 bureaus, and you want to send a letter saying, hey, what the heck? You know, all of these can't be right, because remember, the first premise of the Fair Credit Reporting Act is that all information be true and accurate. So the same account can't have 3 different balances across 3 different reports. And so there needs to be consistency there. And this is how you address it. First of all, you want to list all inconsistencies. You want to clearly identify those inconsistencies, whether they be dates, balances, account statuses, or any other of those information data points being listed on the credit report for each account. You want to request correction. You want to ask for uniformity across all the reports, citing the FCRA requirements. You want to see that across all of them, and they are required to do that. Now, of course, you want to track the bureau's response, because credit bureaus have 30 days to correct or verify this type of situation. You want to use certified mail to ensure that they respond in a timely manner, and you want to escalate it if necessary. Okay, the 5th type of letter is the filed suit letter. This is a letter that goes directly to the creditors. The purpose of this letter is to notify the creditor that you've filed a suit regarding their practices. You've tried to work with them and they have not acted in good faith. You feel you're being treated unfairly, so you're filing suit. So how do you use this letter? Well, first of all, you want to state the grounds of your suit. You want to briefly explain the reason for the suit. Were they non-responsive? Did they lack the validation that we asked for? You want to state exactly what the issue is and what was the basis for the suit. You want to request immediate action. You want to specify actions that you would like to see, such as the debt validation that you originally asked for, or the removal of any and all negative reporting. You want to tell them what you want. Don't leave it to them to assume that's what you want. You want to follow through. So if the creditor fails to respond, you want to proceed with your legal actions. And in this letter, you may often prompt the creditor to resolve the issue out of court. So sometimes the threat of the suit will allow them to come forward and be a little bit more cooperative so that they don't have to do that. Because even if they think they can win, it costs them a lot of money to have a lawyer represent them in court, and they don't want to spend the resources on that if they can just resolve it outside of court. Letter type number 6 is the FCRA Section 609 letter. Now, the purpose of this letter is to request validation for specific credit report items underlined under Fair Credit Reporting Act Section 609. So, how do you use the 609 letter? First of all, you want to include details of the disputed items. You want to list each item's name, account number, and disputed details. You want to request the original documentation related to the debt. By doing this, it will show the Bureau that they must provide proof. They must provide actual proof that they have verified and disputed the information accurately. Of course, I always recommend using certified mail for tracking purposes, because remember, they have 30 days to respond, so we want to make sure we know when that 30-day clock starts so that we can document the mailing date and track the response from when we know they received it. Letter number 7 is the FTC complaint letter. Now, this formal letter files a complaint with the Federal Trade Commission, the FTC, about a company's non-compliance practices. So they've been giving us the runaround, they've been playing games. We say enough is enough, we file a letter with the FTC. So with this letter, we want to include any and all communication history. We want to list all the dates and the communication attempts that we made with the creditor or the collection agency and the response that we didn't get. We want to summarize the complaint clearly. We want to detail the violation and how we were affected by it. Did we lose out on the opportunity? Did we suffer with a job loss or any other things that we were negatively impacted outside of just the score itself and the report itself? Did we have real life impacts as a result of this? Of course, you want to send those letters to the Federal Trade Commission and you want to document that submission. This initiates an investigation with them into the company's practices and will help to hold them accountable. So a government agency like the FTC comes along, they can put some pressure on the creditor to do the right thing, collection agency. Now, letter number 8 is an escalated dispute that goes to the creditor. The purpose of this letter is when your initial disputes are ignored or unresolved, you use this to escalate the dispute with the creditor directly. So how do you do that? Well, first you want to state your escalation grounds. You want to summarize all the prior communications that were made, and you want to outline all of the remaining issues. And so you want to demand resolution. You want to specify that the creditor must verify and update their reporting to the bureaus under federal of the FCRA Section 623. And so then there's a letter 623. You want to document mailings. So you want to send certified mail, like I always tell you, so we can track and we can retain records of all the relevant related communication that we made to the creditor. Now, letter number 9 is the complaint letter directly to the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau. And of course, the purpose of this letter is to file a formal complaint with the CFPB when a creditor or collection agency fails to comply with the consumer protection laws. Now, I will note here, you don't necessarily have to use a paper letter, but I do recommend that you use the template, and so that the verbiage that you create on the template or from the template can be used, because you can file this online with the CFPB. They have a very good online digital submission process. It's just as valid as the written one, and so you could create the dispute letter and then put that verbiage in the description box when they say, what is your complaint? So Having the letter is great. It's just that you can do it electronically through the CFPB with the same effectiveness as mailing it certified, because we know we'll get it directly to, when we do that, we know we're submitting directly to them. So you want to summarize the issue and include details. You want to state the reason for the complaint. You want to list all relevant account numbers and communication issues. So if it's more than one account, you can list them all at one time in one submission. You want to attach supporting documentation if you have it. In the case of the online submission, they have a way you can send electronic files of your documents, and you can scan them in and create PDFs, and you can submit those as well if you're going to use the online process versus the paper process. So you want to attach any supporting documentation. Again, you can submit it online, or you want to attach that with the letter if you're sending out a letter. You want to include copies of all previous letters and responses. So with this, you want to give them the whole shebang. You want to tell them, this is everything I did in trying to work with them to resolve this issue, and based on what's here, it appears that they are not acting in good faith. And then finally, you want to submit it to CFPB. You want to track it. And so then the CFPB will review your case, and then you want to follow up if necessary to ensure timely action. Usually in the CFPB portal, when you create your account, when you file a submission, you'll be able to track it. You'll be able to check your notifications there. And then lastly, the notary page. The purpose of this page is to provide notarization for your documents requiring a formal validation. You want to print and sign in front of a notary. You want to attach the notarized page to your letter. Now, I feel like notarization does add legitimacy, often when used for official complaints or high stakes disputes. So when you send it to a government agency, they love it when you got things notarized. They mean you're serious about resolving the issue. Of course, you want to maintain copies for your records. I recommend hard copies, as I often do, as well as the digital copies, and have a hard file for your records. Now I'm going to offer some best practices for using disputes and complaint letters. Of course, sending certified mail with return receipt. You want to attach all necessary documentation. You want to track your response timelines. Remember, the agencies have 30 days to respond, while complaints to the Federal Trade Commission or the CFPB may take a little bit longer because due to volume backlog. Of course, you want to escalate whenever necessary. So if you're not getting resolution from the bureaus or from the collection agencies or from the creditors, you want to escalate and see if a third party like the FTC or the CFPB can mediate and help get things going. Oftentimes their involvement makes the other entities a little bit more cooperative. Now, I want to mention that, of course, these are all templated letters. I have them available in my DIY credit repair course for my students, so they have access to these and they use those. But I can tell you this, so you can do that. You can buy letters online. I would just say make sure that the letters have the accurate verbiage so that you get the result that you want. You can buy my course and you can have access to the template letters, or if you want, if you can register with me either through a credit audit or buying one of my products or through registration for the webinar, I will invite you and offer you access to my DIY AI-powered platform where you can fix your credit yourself and with no monthly fee involved. And so with that system, you upload your credit report, and then it'll identify all your negative items. You'll choose based on different dispute types what exactly you want to dispute. So you would choose from one of these dispute reasons here that I listed here, and the AI will custom create a letter for you based on your situation, based on the exact account that's on credit that you got as you go through the different accounts that it flags. It will create a custom letter for you so that in the electronic system eOscar, you won't get flagged when using a basic template that 1,000 other people that are selling to 1 million other people, and that it recognizes it and will flag it and reject you. This allows you to get in front of a person. This allows you to get that review that you're looking for, which increases your chances of successfully disputing the issue that you're mentioning. So if you haven't already, I would offer you to, through any of the ways down there, contact me and give you an option, the ability to be able to onboard and use the AI-powered platform. I want people to use it because I want to help you with your credit so that you can move on to other things like buying a house if you want, being able to buy a car if you want, or a better car. If you're looking to open a business, you need personal credit, and I'll show you how to build your business credit so I can get you funded and you can fund that business and get you going. So it all starts with credit, so I do what I can to help folks because this is where the fundamentals are. I'm trying to help you with your money mindset and your credit consciousness. So, final note, understand that by using each letter appropriately and strategically, you can maximize your chances of successful credit repair and protect your consumer rights and get you on the righteous path to credit consciousness. So, if you like this video, I'm going to ask that you subscribe to my channel, click the notification bell, and share this video with folks that you know that could benefit from this and the other videos that I have in this series. Please comment below, and I'd like some comments, something, like tell me what you like and you didn't like about it, not just say, hey, that's great. I appreciate the positive encouragement, but I want feedback because I want to make this website, this YouTube channel and the videos in it exactly what you guys want to know, because I know you want the real deal, not the BS, because I try to offer real value and real helpful items that will help you in your credit journey and beyond that. And so I would ask that you give me constructive comments, if you please. Take a little bit of time out of your day. It is much appreciated. I'm going to start offering incentives to folks for adding comments. I'm not going to announce any incentives, but I'm letting you know. If you submit a comment to me and I use it, if it's something constructive and I use it, I may have a free gift for you. Or I will have a free gift for you of some kind. I have plenty of things to offer for free, so definitely I got some good gifts. So I'm telling you now, if you're looking for a free gift, because I have many courses and books, if you want something free, please comment if you like and share and let me know in a DM that you shared and you can prove it. I may offer you a gift there as well. But I want you to share it with folks that will really benefit and use this information. So until the next video, I appreciate your time and attention, and you take care, family. Bye.